overall pretty good game for us. Third game that we've had with everybody back, and it seems that each game we played up to this point, it gets a little bit more connected and a little bit better. So happy with the way it went, and another opportunity to play for a trophy on Saturday, and look forward to the challenge.
We'll open it up for any questions for the players.
Kirsten, when your top couple of lines get going, it's hard to match. And I feel like today, especially in the second period, has just kind of evolved and kept progressing there to the point where you're just pouring them in.
Yeah, I feel like even in the first we really got going. I mean, obviously we had a bunch of scoring chances. I'd say a lot of grade A scoring chances too, and they just weren't going in yet. But we just knew if we kept chipping away that they were going to come eventually. And then obviously in the second we got a few in there. And yeah, I mean, when those two lines are rolling, it's pretty good. I mean, obviously we keep them hemmed in, and it takes everyone though. But yeah, I mean, once we got into the second, we started pouring them in a bit, and I just think overall we were pretty connected from the beginning.
Kelly, what is it about like the way you go about like navigating around defenses with just the puck on one hand? Like, how has that become such a strength for you in transition, especially?
Yeah, I'd say it started like when I broke my wrist a while ago, and so I learned how to stick handle with one hand, and so that just kind of given me confidence to be able to puck protect in that way and use my size to my advantage. And so, you know, my reach is something that I have as a unique talent, and I just try to use that to create offense.
Kirsten, I feel like the first period was kind of a scrappy, you kind of had to find your way through kind of period to get those chances because the middle of the ice didn't seem very open for you.
Yeah, the middle was definitely clogged, but I still think our forecheck was super hot from the beginning. I think we were very connected from F1 to F3, and so I think that was helping us get our scoring chances and kind of getting that ozone time. And so obviously we got a few in tight scoring chances there, but not as many clear lanes maybe. And then from that, I think that was what opened it up for us in the second.
Kelly, sorry to keep
You're good.
But how important was it for you guys to establish the kind of game you want to play today, knowing that in a couple days you've got either Ohio State or Minnesota?
Yeah. I mean, we knew like every game going into this weekend is going to be, we're going to get every team's best, and it's going to be a challenge. And so it just starts with creating good habits. You know, like Sim said on the forecheck, you know, we have to have a good F1 and support with an F2, and then good back checks through the house. And so it was more just like building good habits. But every team we're playing is going to be tough. So our mindset doesn't really change depending on who we're playing.
Can both of you touch on this? Start with you, Kelly, that you've got a day off now, which is unusual for this. I mean, at Frozen 4, it's kind of how it goes, but how does that impact the way you, I guess, treat this weekend?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it too much. I was more just trying to get through this game today. But yeah, it is a little bit different. I mean, we've done it last year, like you mentioned, with the Frozen 4. It's good to kind of regroup, get a little bit of rest, and then just refocus for Saturday's game.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously it is a little different, but it'll be good just because it gives us an extra day in between to kind of focus up on who we end up playing rather than having to wait till 9 p.m. to figure out who we're playing at 2 the next day. So I think it's good in that sense, and then obviously to get some touches in tomorrow and just kind of get a feel-good skate in going into Saturday.
Kirsten, you obviously had this connection with Adela kind of from the beginning of the season, but after the time away, do you feel like today was kind of you two refinding that chemistry?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we definitely started to find it a little bit at the start of the year, and then obviously as the year goes on, she's also a freshman too, so it takes time as well. And I've obviously been playing with the same player almost the last 2 years, so finding new chemistry with new people, it's fun to do, but it does take time, and now I think it's starting to click at the perfect time, which is the end of the year, playoffs running, and we're finding each other. If she's finding me, I'm finding her, and it's fun to play with.
Did Minnesota State feel different at all as opposed to when you played at the beginning of the year?
Funny enough, I haven't played them yet, so this is I was out the first series, and then we were gone this past one, so I have nothing to really
Yeah.
touch on that, but Kelly probably has a bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like such a physical team. Like I noticed, like along the walls, they're pretty physical. They like to pack it in, so it's really hard to navigate through the slot area. So you really just have to kind of come prepared and sit low in your skates to be able to take some hits.
Kelly, does that prepare you for, every game you're going to play now, it's going to be someone that's probably going to try and be physical against you, right?
For sure, I'd say it's a good practice test for us. I'm not shy with the hits. I've faced a lot versus no matter who we're playing. But I think just kind of like the speed of the game. They play really fast and they're really fast and physical, and so that's just kind of the games the opponents are going to be playing against us, and so it's good to face now.
Anything else for either of the players? All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I didn't know.
Right.
The sharpness that your team seemed to have in the second period especially, how good was that to see after, maybe the first period was a little bit of a grind for them to come out?
Yeah, I mean, that's anticipated. I mean, it's, as we all know, it's that time of season. They're coming off a big, weekend series against Duluth, and they're going to come in with a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, a lot of jump in their play, and the first 6, 7, 8 minutes, that's what you saw, and who can manage pucks, who can take care of it, because the corners are tight, the neutral zone's clogged, and so it really emphasizes your puck management. We did have a bunch of different good looks in the first period, and the first 4 or 5 minutes, she was in tune. Puck was hitting her, and she was, she made a save on Hall that was, pretty impressive early on. And it's like, oh, here we go. There's going to be 60 minutes of this, but obviously in the second period, we were able to capitalize on a couple things and stretch the lead a little bit. And but I mean, all that stuff's good for you. The team that moves on, if they get into a situation and get forced turnovers, Ava, needs to make some saves on outnumbered situations. And if you survive, it's all opportunities to learn from it and move forward, because whoever we play Saturday, there's going to be a bunch of that going on too.
Felt like a lot of goals scored pretty immediately off of turnovers today.
That's the rink. I mean, there's not much space behind the net, and if the puck's in your defensive zone, it's behind the net. That's not good for the defensive team. I mean, the offensive team can get it, and within a split second, it's out in front of the net and create scoring opportunities of it. And so you have to be really conscious of what's coming. You have to be able to communicate really well, and when the puck's below your goal line, you have to be assertive, attentive, and get the puck out of there as quickly as you can.
Mark, you talk about peaking at the right time with the sort of abnormal progression of the last month or two. How has that affected sort of what you would like to see from them, and how has that changed sort of the approach?
Well, I mean, we're still growing, and we've had to do it in different layers this year. We did it early on, and both Layla and Simms, that was the first time they've played Mankato. They didn't play early in the season in Madison when we played, because they're both hurt, and obviously didn't play a couple, 3 weeks ago when they're up there. But it's been an interesting year. It's been a grind. It's been challenging, but when we talked to September, that's the things we talked about. This is what laid out in front of us. So we faced some adversity early in the year with some of our key players being out, and the other kids came and played and rised and helped us. And then when the 5 of them left, that group became really a team within a team. I've said that before, and they became close knit. And then all of a sudden you got these players coming back, and it's like, how do we bring them back into the fold? And so we did a team activity before we played Bemidji, and try to get people on the same page. And ultimately it comes down to good teammates make good teams. And so can I be a good teammate even though I might not be getting what I've gotten at different points in the season? So the kids that were left behind and that we played with for 8 games, you know, all of a sudden we got people coming back in the fold. Can I still be a good teammate knowing that my role might change? And then early on, you know, we went through some of that. So, man, if you can figure those things out, come and tell me and help me out. You know, I've been doing it a long time, and as I mentioned, you know, this was going to be and has been a very challenging year. But yet it seems, you know, when we're challenged, you know, we have somebody or a group of people rise to the top and play well enough for us to win games. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring it out day by day. And, you know, trying to make the best decisions, knowing that, you know, if you win the game at the end of it, you've made the right decisions. If you don't, then you start beating yourself up and saying, I should have done this, I should have done that. But no, it's a good group of kids. I think they want to do well. And so, you know, each game we play, you know, and this is our 3rd one, we can continue to learn more about the group that we have now. And so, you know, kids are fighting flus, kids are sick, and so it's like, welcome to coaching hockey. And but the end's in sight, and so that's what makes it exciting. So we're in the playoffs. You know, we get an opportunity to play one more game and then get ready for the NCAA tournament, because the teams put themselves in a position to have the right to do that. So throw everything at it Saturday afternoon, and if you end up winning that game, you take a trophy back to Madison and feel good about yourself, and wake up Sunday and figure out who you're going to play next.
KK is coming off the ice, double over. How's your stomach?
When she was down on the ice, I was like, oh boy, you know, it's like, you know, it's late in the game. I mean, at that point, the game's decided. I'm going, and I didn't see what happened. So as she rolled over, you know, and it looked like it wasn't going to be a knee or something in the lower body, and then she started in and say, oh, she must have got a stick, or she must have got elbowed, or something happened in there. But yeah, so yeah, you hold your breath.
It seems that between the puck she caught up there earlier this year and the stick, it kind of keeps happening to her.
Yeah, welcome to hockey. It's like, just when you thought you saw it all, and then something goofy happens or funny happens. So yeah, that's why it's a great game, because you don't know. You don't. I mean, yeah. So.
Anything else for Coach?
How do you feel about the day off? I mean, it's a facility thing. It's just something tough to deal with.
I mean, I think, you know, the teams that are in position for next weekend, it's like a dry run. So it just, you know, you're missing school. I know, when Ohio State came up on a Tuesday, but it's like I got a bunch of kids with classes till 5:30 on Tuesday, and so I don't know. I mean, I hope we have a good crowd on Saturday, and then we'll say, hey, you know, it's a good idea. But I think either way, the hard part is trying to find a venue that we can do it back to back, and it's becoming more challenging because, you know, on the men's side, Big Ten side, they changed their playoff structure, so, you know, and then, you know, to host it, I mean, you're around Madison on the lawn. I mean, we got more stuff going on there than Madison Square Garden this time of year. So it's like, yeah, so we've been, and I'm now over 20 plus years doing this. We're trying to figure out still, you know, what's the best setup, what's the best venue, and how can we make this become something special, because we got a good product. Whoever's in the finals, whoever gets the, you know, final face-off, I mean, we got good teams, we got wonderful players in our league, and you know, hopefully we can showcase them, and, you know, whoever we're playing Saturday, they're going to get treated to a great game. All right, thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Coach.
We're just really proud of the effort our team put forth today. Wisconsin's a really talented team. We knew that coming in. We were going to have to try to get pucks behind their D, wear them down on the forecheck. Thought at times we did a good job of that, and other times we weren't able to reload pucks, and they've got a couple of unbelievable defensemen that can headman a puck quick. Watched them do it in Milan a couple weeks ago, and they just kind of were able to transition pucks on us, and our D we got worn down in some of those shifts that we kind of extended. But proud of this group. You know, we had 10 newcomers and a couple of our seniors out with season-ending injuries, and you know, our leadership group did a great job of bringing these young players along. Kind of this is how we approach things. I think we, you know, people had us, I don't know, finishing 7th or 8th to start the year. I didn't buy into that. I knew we have a talented group and that we'd find a way to score some goals. We have a great goaltender who doesn't always get the credit I think she deserves. She's 5'4", but she's unbelievable. Gives us a chance every night. Bails us out. I think we leaned on her really heavy last weekend to get here. People played a lot of minutes, and I think we just kind of ran out of gas as it went. But couldn't be more proud of this group, and excited for where we're headed in the future, and really grateful for the foundation that's been laid by the upperclassmen that are now alums.
Open it up for the student athletes.
Sophie, how much of a challenge is it to try and own the middle of the ice as the neutral zone against a team that does move the puck, up and down and side to side as well?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty challenging, but it's pretty nice when you have 4 other girls on the ice with you that are also working their butts off. I think we do a good job of just communicating through all 6 players on the ice that anybody's willing to, someone's gassed and has been out there for a while, anybody's willing to step in and play center for a shift if you're feeling tired or something like that. Like, I think we do a great job of just filling in for one another, and obviously they're a great team and they caught us at some points, but I think we did a great job all season.
It's the biggest stage this program has been on since you guys were kindergarten or preschool or somewhere there, but just how do you feel you guys handled kind of being on this big of a stage?
I thought we did a great job. I mean, we left it all out there, and especially our senior class, like, they led the way for us, and I'm really proud of the group that we showed today. Yeah, I think coming in, like, obviously we haven't been here in a while, but the seniors made it known that, like, we're capable, and we have been all these years, but this is the year that we can do it, and obviously we went out there and showed that we're meant to be here. So.
How important is something like this for you all to be able to build on and, like, have the experience of being here and leading into sort of next year and years after?
I think it's super important. Like, it just shows, like, the girls coming in that, like, we're capable and we're willing to work our butts off the whole entire season to get to this place once again, and it's becoming a standard. Like, we just set the standard, and now next season we can work even farther. Yeah, exactly. I think we set the expectation for next year, and we're ready to achieve it again.
Sophie, what happened with Harvey there? Like, that was a couple of face-offs that just, like,
I don't know,
jostling
just blindsided. I mean, she's a great player, and we ran into each other, and I caught that end of it. It's okay, though. Happens to Taki. I get it.
What are you guys going to remember most about this season in particular? Because it was a great season for the program, but from your perspective, being a freshman and sophomore, like, how are you guys going to remember this season in particular?
I would say the girls. I mean, back again with our senior class, like, they lead with example, and it's something that we can look up to as underclassmen, and honestly, that's something we want to show the upcoming freshmen what we can accomplish and what our team can look like next year. Yeah, I think they're great hockey players, obviously, but they're even better people. Like, they show us what we need to work into and become as we're moving up and building into leadership roles as sophomores and freshmen. Like, they show us, like, what we need to do and what leadership we need to show, and I think they were great people to look up to, for sure.
Anything else for the athletes? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any questions for the coach then? You were going to try to sneak out,
I
weren't
was
you?
gonna try.
What does it mean to you to hear them speak so self-assuredly and sort of the way that, like, maybe we haven't heard in years past from the program, like, to know where you all are and how confident they are and what that can mean for the growth for your program?
I think it's just, like, the people on our team. Like, we had a couple people that left. Obviously we graduated a huge class last year, and a couple that chose to transfer. And it was like, this is our group, and talked with our, senior class, current seniors last, spring and into the fall. Like, we're going to go as far as you guys will lead us. And just, like, I believe in our team. I believe in them as people. I believe in them as hockey players. They're amazing to be around. I love going to work every day. I don't know if a lot of people can say that. everything about it is great, and I think they've kind of all bought into that. Like, everybody needs to play a role, everybody's important, and I think that our older players have kind of embraced the youngsters, but they knew, like, okay, we have a star-studded group of freshmen coming in. If they contribute right away, we're better off. And it was just a really selfless group all the way through. You know, like, you kind of assume that Whitney Tuttle was going to score 15 or 20 for us this year. I think she ends at 5, but like the pace she plays at, and you know, we got scoring from people that maybe we didn't anticipate. Lauren Goldsworthy played forward for us for 2 years and was kind of a third, fourth liner and couldn't really find her groove. And last year, when we had a couple people decide to transfer as D, I'm like, hey, Big Z, that's what we call her. I'm like, what do you think about playing D? Like, you have you shoot the puck hard. Everything you do is hard. You can skate. I think it might benefit you to have everything out in front of you. I'm like, just think about it. We'll regroup in a couple weeks and talked again in the spring, and she's like, yeah, I want to do it. I want that to be, I want to try to do that. I'm going to train this summer as a D. I'm going to do, and now I think she 20-some points on the back end and closing out plays, and obviously still has a lot of learning to do, but she was unbelievable for us back there. And then with Lily Ramirez, kind of a stalwart D we've had, being kind of injured all year long and trying to play through, like, other people stepped up, and I think that our whole group bought in that somebody else is going to help. I'm going to do my part, and we're all going to pull the rope the same way. And it's just a really exciting group to be around. I hope that they know I believe in them. I think they do understand that, and it's kind of allowed them to maybe relax a little bit when you're playing. Like, it's a game of mistakes. I was a goalie. I'm used to everybody telling me I'm not good or booing or whatever. Like, that's, move on. How can you improve and be better? And I want them to be able to make mistakes. Sometimes fewer mistakes would be better, but you know, that's, sometimes people turn pucks over and they come off the ice and I'm like, hey, that's why we got a good goalie. We're good. Move on. But I think that they play a little bit more relaxed. I try to not get too uptight. Sometimes I get on the officiating a little bit, but I try to apologize later. But I think that they play a little bit more relaxed, and I try to allow them to make mistakes, but try to do the right things. And I think they all have a mutual trust amongst each other. Like, I know you're trying to do the right thing at the right time. It doesn't always work out, but I trust that you're trying to do the right thing, and I think everybody's kind of bought in and care about each other, and it's just an awesome group. And I'm hopeful that as we transition, you know, it's crazy to think about next season, but bringing in, you know, 6 freshmen again, and whatever happens, however your roster makeup ends up, I'm hopeful that, you know, we can continue to instill that into the new group and continue to climb. I mean, it's the best league in the country. I love competing in it. I want to win more than we do, but there's no other league I want to play in. I don't want to play in a different league where we can win 6-0 every night. Like, I want to play against the best and with the best, and continue to try to recruit really good athletes to help develop and get to their whatever goals they have, whether that's P-Dub, whether that's making a national team. Like, I want to help them develop and continue to get better and get to wherever they want to be. And hopefully it doesn't take 20 years to get to an Olympics like me, but.
I'll ask you the same question I asked the girls. I mean, how are you going to remember the senior class? Because you've been with them for 4 years. They're awesome. Like, Kiana Roski, that she played for the River Lake Stars, my high school team. You know, I remember recruiting her, and it was always like, what do I got to do to play in your, and she's not very big, and it was like, you got to be able to defend, you got to be able to, she's been unbelievable. The girls she's had every year, like, they're just, I go through each one of them and just how they've bought in and what do I need to do, this is where I want to get, and just, they've done all the work.
I don't know. I'm hopeful that something will top this season, but so far this has been the most fun I've had coaching a team. They're just great to be around, like every single person in that locker room, whether they're playing 30 minutes or 3 minutes, or they're all fired up, excited, great energy, great personalities, and just a really fun group to be around.
With your personal unique experience this season with the Olympics, I'm wondering what you've learned about your staff this season.
I haven't really processed the entire last month. I got home from Milan at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, left on Thursday for Duluth. We end up going I don't even know what day it is right now, home for Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, and then back on the road. So I've haven't really processed all of it, but I think I've worked with Goose for 11 seasons now. I've known him forever when I was a player and he was coaching at St. Cloud. Just have a mutual respect and trust with each other. I went to Milan and I was like, you guys got this. Let's try not to run Haley Hansen ragged. Maybe give somebody else a game or two, but also get us to a good spot for the playoffs. You guys make the decisions you need to make. If you need anything from me, let me know. But you guys can do the job. You guys can handle it. Because I try to just be present where I'm at, which is kind of how I survive, especially when I open a Google Calendar and there's, I'm going to be gone for most of this month. I've got 3 kids playing hockey at home. It's just chaos. So I try to be present where my feet are. So when I went to Milan, the goal was gold, and I'm going to focus on that and be present for the women who made that U.S. Olympic team and deserved all my energy and efforts there. But then I get home and it's like, all right, how can we beat Duluth? I mean, and we'd scored one goal against Duluth in 4 games. So it was like, all right, we're going to have to really defend, but we need to capitalize on a few opportunities. And then to go to double overtime, and I think Kiana Roski played 50 minutes in that second game as a D, which is absurd. And then rally and win a game on Sunday as well. And just trying to re-rack it, and it's been a whirlwind, but my staff's been awesome. Emily Anthony, she played for us, and she's a little bit more detailed and a little bit more, when she's teaching a drill or drawing something up, she's very she could be teaching a 9-year-old or a 30-year-old. She's very do you understand? And then making sure everybody knows what's going on and making you not feel like you're a dummy if you're not sure. You can ask questions, and it's so I was kind of I want you to present the video. I don't care how you guys piece it together and work together, but you do that part. Mac, you keep our goalies going. Goose, don't get too tough on the refs. But just they're fantastic, and they do a great job, and it was great to see that the last weekend it was I'm kind of on a high from winning a gold medal and a couple extra Aperol spritzes maybe, but I was you guys take care of St. Thomas, and wherever we got to play next weekend we'll get the job done. And then they get us to 5th place, which was awesome. And then we go on the road and win in 3. So I love my staff. I think they're amazing. I wish I could pay them all a bunch more money so they would never leave, but hopefully I can keep them around for a while. And I love going to work all the time. Our hockey ops guy is fantastic. He's sending me itineraries weeks out in advance, and I'm like, well, Matthew, all right, okay. I'm ordering meals way out in advance that I don't even remember what I ordered because it was so long ago that he had us. But they're all great, and I'm grateful that they supported kind of the I want to go to the Olympics and win a gold medal dream as well.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shari.